Hello everybody. Thank you so much for following the race the way you are, and thank you very much for all your questions. It's great to get all your messages, real inspiration and motivation to keep me pushing forwards and carrying on into the lead. So let me crack on and start answering these questions. Just a quick adjustment to the keel. John Southgate, missing your family must be one of the hardest parts. How often do you manage to speak with your wife and kids? And more importantly, how is your son's virtual race going? John, I try and speak to them every day. It's not easy speaking to the kids. You know, it's hard to get used to the latency, the audio delay with the satellite signal. But definitely try and speak to Kate every day. And my son's virtual race is going pretty good, I think. He's got a few helpers, and he's holding his own, I think. Of course, he's chosen the HUGO BOSS boat, and before I left, I had to buy him all the foils, all the pilots, everything he needed. Typically me, probably. Amore Lantonis, how do you manage your food intake, and do you have sweets or special treats if or when you feel a bit down for special moments in the race? Well, Amore, I just eat as much and as often as I want, pretty much. I do have a couple of treats. The main one for me is some homemade Christmas cake from Amanda Owens in our office. Her mum runs a farm, a brilliant farm shop, and she makes the best Christmas cake, and that's my daily treat, a little slice of Christmas cake. What's next? Finn, age 10, how fast does your boat go? Well, Finn, I don't think we've really found out the top speed yet. I suspect it's very close to 40 knots. My last boat went top speed of 38.5. Currently we're doing about 22, 23. But it's not very nice going 40 knots. We're more interested in going high average speeds and less of the top speed. It gets a bit scary at those top speeds. Hannah Gilsman, when you do this race, does the world feel even more vast, or does it seem strangely smaller? And does that perception change with each Vendée Globe? Perception doesn't change with each Vendée Globe. I think it just, when you start the race, it feels vast. The task feels enormous. But, I tell myself that really, 3 months isn't a very long time. In all our lives, 3 months goes very quickly. So when I tell myself that, then the time passes more easy, and you get used to it. For sure, you understand how insignificant we are as human beings when you do something like this. Ramata, what type of alarms do you have on board? Ramata, I've got an alarm for everything, for a wake-up alarm, for radar alarm, for overloading, the mast, the hull, the foils alarm. I've even got an alarm for when I turn the water maker on, that I remember to switch it off before it overflows and fills up the boat with fresh water. I can quickly stick the alarm on for you, hang on. Give you an idea of the loudness of it. So, I don't know if you can hear that. That was my sleep alarm. Just turn that off. Yeah, very useful tool, the alarms. Alexander, age 9. How do you keep concentrating when you're not sleeping much and are worrying about the other boats chasing you? I don't know if I'm not worried about the boats chasing me. I'm more worried about trying to keep the boat in one piece and sailing as efficiently as possible. But, you get used to, I manage my sleep. Don't always do the best job in the world. Sometimes I don't sleep enough. But, it's just one of those things, really. As soon as you can, basically get your head down and get some sleep. I'm sure your mum says that to you as well. Nick Flower, do you ever change your course or set up in response to other boats, or just to a preordained plan to maximise winds, course, boat speed? Sometimes, Nick, it depends on what's happening. If I'm confident in my strategy, confident that the weather's doing what it's supposed to be doing, then I'll probably just stay, with my strategic plan. If I'm a bit concerned, then that the plan's not ideal, then or maybe the weather models don't agree, then maybe I will play the fleet and move into a more tactical regime. So good question, that. Kendrick, what tasks do you enjoy most on board? And are there some of your least favourite tasks on board? I really enjoy mainly all of it, really. I feel very privileged to be able to race a machine like this around the world, and especially one that's been designed specifically for me. The one task I hate the most is putting the sails in the bags. They're big old sails and they're small bags, and they're a right pain to get in there on your own. Isabel and Toby, 6 years old. How often do you go outside? And what does that red rope with the white jammer on the starboard side of the coffee grinder do? We want to know. Okay, Isabel and Toby, I get outside every day, even if it's only just for a quick check around. But generally there's a sail change or something to do, so I get my boots and foul weather on at some point normally. And I guess the red rope is now on this, so it's on the port side. This is actually the main sheet, so that controls the main sheet. And I've got it on just a little plastic jammer there, which cleats it. There's on a piece of bungee that runs around. And what that means is it's tailing. It's like having someone holding onto it and pulling it. And so I can wind on it like that. And then if I want to ease it, I just ease it away. So basically it's just a helping hand. Iggy Smith, do you miss an open cockpit, the breeze, the feel? Does it change how you sail? Iggy, with the open cockpit, yeah, it's great, it's wonderful. But when the boats do 30 knots in 17 knots of wind, and you've got 30 knots of water coming over to you, it's not that nice. So no, I don't miss it at all. This to me is the absolute future. That's my lazy boy down there. I'm sitting in there, sleeping there, and I can do everything within a couple of feet range. Who's next? Next is George Mills and all the children in 3CMK at Elstree School. We are studying biomes at the moment in geography. I wanted to know if you'd seen much wildlife so far. Hi George, nice to hear from you. I haven't seen that much actually at the moment, probably because most of the time I'm inside the boat. But I can't wait to see my first albatross when I get to the Southern Ocean. And when my first albatross comes along, I always call him George. And normally they follow me for a couple of weeks and always gives me a bit of comfort. So I'm looking forward to that. Shouldn't be long now, maybe another a week to 10 days, and George will be with me. And hello to your brother, Harry Mills. Harry's actually my godson. Hi, Harry. Jaden from the Scaramouche Sailing Trust. Do you always maximise the performance of the boat, or are there times when you are so tired you accept going a bit slower? Well, I maximise performance, as per what I'm able to do, and also what I think the boat's capable of doing. So luckily now I've got lots of sensors all over the boat to tell me how much punishment the boat's taking. And yeah, sometimes I have to chill out a little bit, get some rest, get some sleep before getting back to it. So it does change as and when or how I feel and how the boat is. Jason Hopkinson, how does being chased compared to doing the chasing? Are you more relaxed or more paranoid? I much prefer being chased. I'm not much of a follower myself. The difficulty in this game is generally the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And so if you're behind and you might miss, just by a few miles, you might miss something, and that then few miles could then lead, to hundreds of miles or even 1,000 miles. So I definitely prefer being in the lead and having some kind of control over my own destiny. We've got Christopher, also from the Scaramouche Sailing Trust. In an interview you said that a psychologist suggested if you're feeling down to imagine looking down the boat from a bird's eye view. How many times have you done that on this race? Quite a few times actually, yeah. This boat's quite new to me, so it's not, I haven't done as many miles on it, so it's quite good for me to be able to visualise, how she's sailing and what's ahead of me. So yeah, no, that's a very useful tool. We call that the helicopter view, and it's one of about 30 mental tools that I use on this race. Colton J. Kosh, what music do you listen to during the day, if any at all? Well, I haven't listened to any music yet. That's the music I'll be listening to is my kids' favourite music, because that will remind me of them. But that'll probably be a little while till that happens. Toby Truth, how do you shower, or are you able to shower? Well, actually, Toby, on this boat I have actually got a little shower. It's a little tube that will come around here, and I should be able to shower just there. Haven't had one yet. A bit stinky, I'm afraid. Be glad you're not on board. Rich Wave, coffee or tea or both? Well, Rich, when I'm with a crew, I drink tea. When I'm at home, I drink coffee. When I'm on my own, I drink neither. I find the caffeine interrupts with whatever little sleep I'm able to get. Terry Cawthorne, do you have noise cancelling headphones, and if so, do you wear them at all times? Terry, I do. I'm wearing them. I don't wear them all the time, but I do wear them, particularly when it's going very fast and noisy. The disadvantage of wearing it is sometimes you might not hear a problem. So it's good and bad. Jesse Goodhart, how many sets of clothing do you take with you around the world? Well, Jesse, I'm taking a lot of clothes. Not too sure I'm going to use them all. Normally you end up changing them because you get soaking wet, but this time I'm not really getting soaking wet, so I imagine I'll have quite a few left over at the end. Simon Hughes, what on board do you consider your biggest luxury item? That would definitely be Christmas cake. One piece of Christmas cake every single day. It's definitely a bit of a luxury. It tastes great though, and lots of calories. Christo, how often do you see other yachts or shipping? I'm seeing shipping every day at the moment. I saw a couple of container ships yesterday evening. Don't know why, but we always seem to be a bit of a magnet for them. They always seem to end up coming quite close, and sometimes you call them up and they don't answer. But yeah, when you get to the Southern Ocean, you don't really see very much at all. And last question, Jan Tyminski. Have the routines changed a lot in comparison to previous editions of the Vendée? They're probably not overall. The details have changed, with the setup of the cockpit. But in terms of how I do my manoeuvres and how I operate the boat, how I sleep is generally pretty similar. Well, great questions, everybody. Thank you very much for following and taking the time to send them to me. And I look forward to getting some more soon.